all of our family.
Hello, we're here
Ted, David, Robin.
to do the obvious. We got an anniversary coming up, and we kind of a ready-made family, and we want to talk about our grandchildren and all the fun we've had during all these years and ups and downs. And one of the things we want to do is what it is it the circle of life. You know, we have to make room for our grandchildren, which is kind of bittersweet, but that's
They age from 5 to 31,
and
and they're both boys.
it's we have to move on, and so we want to talk about our grandchildren and do what has to be done. It's been 44, 45 years plus, and it's been incredible. At this time, one of the things we want to talk about is our oldest is Bethany, and some of the thoughts that we had with her was incredible. We used to go up to Indiana quite a bit. In fact, we were in the house, David and Teresa's house, all of them, when we could.
Before
when we
they
could
moved
travel.
to a house,
Yeah.
they were in their apartments.
Yep.
Squirrels used to come in the door
yeah.
for Bethany, and she'd feed them.
Her candle, first birthday was phenomenal. We watched her and laugh.
Giggled, laughed, smeared chocolate icing everywhere. And all the time her legs were going, and she was just having a ball.
And later on, we would stop. Come up a couple years later, and boy, Bethany saw one look at Oma, and boy, all she could do is just run her little feet up, Oma, 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 I love you, and just running up to the car. But a lot of waters have went over the dam, and now she's a beautiful bride. Just got married.
By her sister.
Yeah,
Her sister married her.
which we'll be talking about here
And
shortly.
it's legal.
And her whole demeanor has changed. She's just happy with life and beautiful. And she has a dog that I forget the dog's name, but
She has a husband that
and
she
a,
adores.
and a husband who
and
we haven't
they
met
got a dog.
yet. Yeah. So we're so proud of her, and she's on her own, and not far from here, North Carolina. We're in South Carolina.
And she's a picture of total happiness.
Love it. The next one, Taylor, so proud of her. All her achievements, above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
With how many letters did she get? 12
12.
or so? I mean,
12.
yeah. Incredible. And this is due to her and her dad and the dedication that they dedicated to sports, and it's just incredible. But one of the things that we loved about her, she was always funny. We went to a feather party, and they had a stage there, and she would jump on the stage and start talking and doing a show for us, and she's so talented in so many ways.
And we had a family reunion out in Las Vegas at the Gold Strike in Nevada, and she stole the show. She was personality plus, and everybody wanted her at their table because she just talked
came
with
natural.
her hands. It was very natural. Talked with her hands and just so happy-go-lucky. Everybody wanted her at their table, and she was happy to go.
Yeah, wow. And then we come along with little Brookie, who, you know, was kind of a surprise. Always David wanted a boy, and here comes Brookie. And again, another all-star due to Dad's, you know, sticking with her and through the ups and downs and teaching her the sports, especially pitching, and she just recently, what was it, the World Series in their class, and incredible. She recovering from a surgery that kind of hindered her a little bit in her throwing abilities, but wonderful, wonderful, wonderful young lady, turned into a beautiful lady, a young girl, and talented, just as talented as all the rest of them. And then finally David's prize too, the one he's been
Number 4
waiting for.
came, and it was not a girl. It
This
was a
time.
boy.
And
Clay Matthew.
yes, beautiful, beautiful child.
And what a handsome young man he is.
And he's eating weed grow because, or drinking it, one or the other.
Miracle Grow.
Miracle
Because
Grow.
when I came out of the bathroom and he was standing there to greet me, he was more than a head taller than me, and I couldn't believe it was
Oh
him.
my. David, yeah. David kept telling us, you'll never believe how tall he is. You'll never believe. Yeah, okay, sure. Well, it was a fact. The little kid here, Oma, she come up, and sure enough, there he is. It was unbelievable. And he's
so tall.
he's probably, I don't know how big he's going to be, but an incredible name to boot. Clay Matthew, and Clay Matthew Stoltz, by the way. So we've got so much to be proud of in that family. Teresa, who's been working
Night and day.
night and day to help the family out, and David and his illnesses and different things that he has. It's been an up and down journey for him, but every one of them in every position is incredible of what they're able to do with their family. Again, we love them all,
Very well blessed.
and when we were able to get up there in our new cars and different ones, we used to go up as much as we could to see them, and then old Father Time kind of took over, and also my job had us moving all over the place to try to make a living, and now that's all. You can see my fats here. 10 years there just to make ends meet, of which that's it. And then when you can't do it anymore, you kind of just,
Big fat cat.
oh yeah, here comes our big fat cat, but we'll show you him later. Okay, then now we go
Baby.
to Robbins. We have a lot to say there. Robbins,
3 children.
yes, that she started off with Michael,
O'Brien.
very, very successful, and unfortunately things didn't work out with them, and it ended up they ended up dividing, but not without 2 remarkable children, and Michael being the oldest. We were at the hospital both times too, by the way. Just happened to be, not just happened, we were there still in Norwalk, and Robin in there doing her screaming and whatever. I don't even remember the screaming, but it was funny. Michael,
She was in labor, and we were hiding
Yes.
behind the door.
oh my.
But he's been a blessing
Oh,
too,
yeah.
Michael's.
Michael's got
Something
the
else.
he's got the urge to travel, and you can't take that away
what
from him.
Papa had, wanderlust.
Yes, so he
The
took after.
gypsy in him.
Yeah. Then Nathan, another. They both work for Michael, the dad, and they both have their own ways of doing things and getting on with life. We're proud of both of them equally. They're kids, and they did like what I used to do, get in trouble, but you finally know the difference between right and wrong, and we're proud of them.
Nathan was wonderful.
Yes.
We bonded at Chad's house, having a watermelon spitting contest, the 2 of us. That was so much fun. He still remembers it when I talk to him, mentions it, or I do.
Then Sarah.
And then Sarah May.
Sarah May. Sarah May again, you know, poor Robin got divorced again, and you know, things happen when you're young. You fall in and out of love, and things happen. And Sarah came along, and Sarah, in her own way, had some problems, but in the most case, again, a lovable girl, very very talented in a lot of areas, and she went on with life. We're not sure where she's at the moment, but
Toledo.
the last we knew was Toledo. But again, you know, when you're a single mom and you have to go through all this stuff, things happen, and so.
Now Robin's in love again, and she's
Oh, yeah.
engaged to be married to Brian Matzik.
Who she met way back when we were on Ford Avenue.
Well, she was 16 and he was 14.
That's,
And he brought her home from work from the old corn detossing. And we invited him to stay for dinner, and he turned his shirt inside out, so it was a little more presentable.
that's the way I
And he
do.
ate with us.
Just turn it inside out and go on your way. No,
And then after all of that, Chad
yeah, there he
finally
is.
got his son.
Incredible. And in fact, all that time that his son Noah, their son Noah, you know, I didn't think it was going to happen because of the moving around from one daycare to another daycare, and the hassle to go there, and they scrutinize you, and they want you to be number one on everything, and if there's any doubt about it, you're not going to get that child. And you know, it just seemed
Well,
to me,
first there was a little girl they were
Yeah.
with, but that didn't work out, so they got Noah.
but it sure worked out well. He's an incredible young man. He can speak 2 languages,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad's got him jiu-jitsu, and on almost everything else, because the bonding of his parents is incredible. The love is they both glow over this child, and he is so fortunate, and so are they. God bless them. They go the right path now, and well, they always have. They got church they go to, schooling, and making sure that he's got the best of everything that they can do for him.
That's right.
And they're so lucky. God is
And he's so lucky to have them as his parents.
both ways. So
Incredible little boy.
yeah, and you know, all this began with us. I want to step back a little, back in the 70s, when little kid and I decided that we wanted to keep the kids together. And this goes back way in the 70s. And we knew, and I knew, my mother wasn't too fond about it, as most mothers are. They're concerned about their children, just like you would be. It's just the way it is. And so, you know, we kind of ran away, got married, and little did we know that it was all going to turn out to be like this. Things hit just right. We were lucky enough to rent a home right adjacent to my plant. I just jumped the fence and went to work.
We bought that house.
We bought that house. We were lucky enough that they sold it to us, and we were not financially well, but all the furniture and everything about it in the early stages worked to. God had a plan for me. I was involved with a lot of bad car wrecks, and I don't know how I made it, but I know now, looking back, part of it is because He had a plan for me, and I'm sure a plan for a little kid, and it worked. It worked, and therefore the longest time, my my mother and my oldest brother was kind of bitter, but the thing that stuck us together, ironically, is the guy that's filming the movie now, Dad, Chad, of Noah. And it was his accident at school, our baby, who I was on the ambulance, it was horrifying. He was laying there with a fractured skull off of this sled that he fell off of. And slide, yeah. And his prognosis wasn't good. And then when we called my mom from the hospital, and he's packed in ice, and he could go either way, and I did the things that I was taught to do on the ambulance, it pointed to a bad situation, like brain damage forever. Sometimes I think he might still have a little, but I don't know. He's fine. But she kept saying, "What is she saying? What is she saying?" And I said, "Honey, she's crying." And that was when I knew that my mother fell in love with our family. And she came around. And it was kind of
from that day on, she went everywhere we went.
Yes, and
she and
babysit.
I'd go play bingo, she'd babysit, and we went to Lake Placid.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part about that is she had to move on too to make room, and that was the first of what our kids learned what death meant. It's a bittersweet lesson, no matter what age you are.
6 years from the time we were married. She died in 1978.
But
so we didn't have her that long.
They all knew that Grandma loved them, and we knew too at that moment because of Chad. Unfortunately, because of what he did, but that's how it worked out, right? So.
She loved everybody.
And now we just swing around to this. We can cut a little if you want. I don't know what to say right at the moment.
All right, I got about two and a half minutes left for this recording, and the battery's going to die. Today is June 28th, 2016.
Tuesday, and Robin's on her way.
Robin's on her way today. We're gathering for the celebration of the 44th wedding anniversary of Earl and Joyce Stoltz, and they're giving us a little recap of grandkids and life. In the 2 minutes we have remaining, what would you like to?
Our future son-in-law.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Brian and Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brian. That's right. Brian is coming.
How happy we are for all of them. Not to take anything from Robin, but more so for
Brian.
No, well,
Bethany,
because Bethany's she had a lot of challenges, and she's done so well, and now you can read her face like a book, how happy she is, and we were so happy. It just made us feel so much better. We love them all.
She's a picture of happiness, beauty,
personified.
Everything.
I
can't wait to meet her husband, Tyler Bradley.
And one other thing, if I had the opportunity to do this again, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, just everything from the camping days, which we haven't even talked about, but Chad remembers a little bit, not much, but we camped almost every weekend as a family, and now he's following in the same footsteps, which is incredible to me. Makes me feel so good that he's picked up on a lot of our good things. We weren't always roses all the time like everybody else, but God bless you, and
we love you all.
We would love to stick around and watch what happens, but it's time to move on before too long and make room for what we've got to do. And so anyway, we love you, and God bless you, and I don't know, we'll have another series of tapes. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.